How to make lowball offers and not get your seller upset when you give them a super lowball offer. Have you ever done a lowball offer and you were super scared or super fearful when you give that offer? The seller's going to say, no, get out of my house. That's way too low. No, no, no. And you lose the wholesaling deal. Well, the truth is a lot of you guys that are giving lowball offers absolutely suck at it. You give these offers and the seller says no and they kick you out of the house. And then somebody like me or somebody on my team will go give a lowball offer that's probably even lower than yours, but we present it in the perfect way where the seller's not even upset. They sign the contract and we get the wholesaling deal. The truth is so many wholesalers don't know that it's not about how much you offer that's really going to get the seller upset or for them to accept your offer. It's how you present the offer. It's how you say it that's actually going to indicate if you get the wholesaling deal or not right now. So what we're going to do in this video is teach you exactly step by step how to make lowball offers to your motivated sellers so they don't get upset with you and then you can get the properties under contract for big profits.
So you need to go for the no. And I just want to understand the basic philosophy around this. In fact, most wholesalers go for the yes. Why? Because it's human nature. Because we all want a yes. We all want an acceptance. Wholesaling is actually based on the opposite premises. Meaning when you go for that initial offer, you want them to say no. And I know what you're thinking, like, Rick, Zach, are you guys absolutely nuts? When they say no, they're usually going to come back to you with what we call a counteroffer. And a counteroffer is basically your seller's subconscious response to your offer. Honestly, I don't expect them to say yes to my first offer. I'm expecting a no, but here's where an actual negotiation starts. So when I offer $150,000 for a property and the seller goes, oh my God, I could never go that low. Me and my wife said the least we can take is 162.5. Now we have a starting line. You see, if you go for a yes and you do your MAO with your maximum allowable offer, if I offer 175 and the most you can pay is like 180 and they say no to your first offer, you're going to go 176, 77, 78. Honestly, you're better off hitting them low and then having your sellers come chase you a little bit. It is human nature to have a seller. If you offer too much, they'll actually move their price up. So what we found is by going for the no, especially if you're brand new to wholesaling, it is actually better for you because it gets you to a faster negotiation and it's hard to screw up. Here's the secret, guys. You have to build amazing rapport with your sellers, meaning you have to spend time, you have to get to know them, and you have to have a conversation. And at the peak of your relationship, you're going to slide in the go for no, and it's going to reset how this goes. That's the purpose. If you ever use go for no and you don't do any skill building with rapport and conversation, it will never work because it's purely transactional. So when I make that offer, I go, listen, the most I can offer is 100,000, and they react to you or they get upset. It's kind of natural. And this is the point where we're going to teach you on how to bridge the gap. The number one problem wholesalers have, and this is my opinion, is you guys and gals overpay for your properties. Going for no will teach you the strategy to get the best possible price with the least amount of resistance in the negotiations. Because the more you try to get a yes, the longer it goes on and the more stress you create for the seller, yourself. And honestly, when you go to sell your deals and you find out you overpaid, you got to go back and fix this anyway. So let's just do it right up front. Let's do the go for no.
So now we know when we go for the no, we make more spreads. And this is the point today. Low balls equal big wholesaling deals. You're not watching this video because you want to make $5,000 on a wholesaling deal. You're watching this dang video because you want to make 50, 60, 70, heck, $100,000+ assignment fee spreads in wholesaling real estate. So what we need to do here is go for the no. But how do we go for the no without getting the seller upset? It's the super secret method called the good cop, bad cop method. That's right. Heck, we could sell you a $6,000 training program on this, but let me tell you the honest truth. You don't need to be buying that stupid stuff. What you need to be doing instead here is just doing wholesaling the right, correct way. And so what's the good cop, bad cop method? The good cop, bad cop method is basically a method where you actually can have conversations with motivated sellers and lowball offers without actually being the bad person. Think about this. I'm the good cop, you're the bad cop.
Thank you.
When I'm talking to a motivated seller, any issues that they have or problems or anything they're upset at, I'm going to blame it here on the bad cop. And I'm always going to be the good person actually reaching out to them and actually being their helpful person or their friend here. This has actually been done in law enforcement, and detectives have been using this method for hundreds of years, not because it sounds cool, but because it actually works. And so when I give a lowball offer to a seller, I'm actually not going to give the lowball offer. And I might be like, whoa, Zach, what are you talking about here? Well, let me give you an example and show you the good cop, bad cop method in action. Hey, Mr. Seller, yeah, this property looks great here. I know it needs a little bit of work here. I was actually talking to my partner Rick about this, and he told me we need to buy this property for around $100,000. You see how I just shut up there? I was quiet, and I just mentioned that you were talking to me about it, how you wanted to buy it for $100,000. Now, in this situation, you're not here. Even if I'm on the phone, you're not with me. You're not even near me in the office, right? Or if I'm in person, you're not in it. It's only me being here solo. The thing is, I actually didn't give an offer there. I just mentioned and I spit out the biggest tension in the room here. The offer price. Oh my gosh, right? What I just did here was I just spit out the biggest thing. And the tension you can cut with a knife sometimes with these sellers of who's going to say the price first. Well, guess what? You just said the price first. And because you said the price first, because the price was set out there, the ball's kind of up in the air and who's ever going to grab it, right? And here's the cool part. Because I said Rick mentioned he wants to buy it for $100,000, I can always backtrack that because Rick's not here. And so when I say $100,000, maybe the seller gets mad. Oh, how dare you? That's way too low. Get out of my house. Might be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, that was Rick. That's what he's saying. FYI, Rick always wants to buy things for super, super cheap. He's a really cheap person. That's why I'm here. He always wants to buy this thing for pennies on the dollar. Trust me, he's crazy, but he's got the money. He's the guy I work with. And heck, Rick's been doing this for 25 years. Like, he has a lot of experience. So of course he wants the most for it. But I'm here. I'm the one that makes the decisions. Obviously, $100,000 is not going to work. I completely get it, right? That was just what he said. That's not even what we're offering. What works for you then, I guess? Because if $100,000 is not working for you, what works for you? I don't know. Well, he said 100. I mean, we can do 100 if you want. I mean, Rick would really like that. Here, we can do that. No. We got to do 140. 140. Listen here, I would love to do 140. You're happy. That's fine, right? We can make this done. It's an okay area, I guess. But Rick, whoa, okay. He's going to be really upset at me if I get this for 140. Hey, he's at 100. He's going to be super upset. I mean, he's a reasonable guy, but he's never going to take that. I mean, we just take meet in the middle, 120,000, and then just go from there and you negotiate. And that's negotiating, right? But you got to get a really, really low offer. One example I always use with lowballing, which sounds kind of childish, but it's absolutely true. If you're a 4-year-old and you're negotiating with your mom or dad, and let's say you want some Oreos, your mom might be like, oh, you can get 1 Oreo. And then most kids are going to be like, I want 5 Oreos. Well, how about 3 Oreos? I'm like, okay, good. You split the middle, right? That's a reasonable negotiation, but that's not lowballing, right? What if you did this as a 5-year-old? Mom's like, you can have 1 Oreo. Well, I want 5,000 Oreos. No, you're not getting 5,000. Well, let's meet in the middle at 2,500 Oreos. Okay, sure. Let's meet in the middle. Because your offer was so ridiculous, just meeting in the middle of that ridiculous offer makes the kid have the win. Same thing with you in wholesaling real estate. If you have such a lowball offer, for the seller to just meet in the middle of that, you're still going to make $20,000, $30,000.
It works.
It works really well. And so the point of this good cop, bad cop method is you can give insultingly really bad lowball offers without really even giving the lowball offer, because you can always just blame that on the partner. And this is why this method works so well.
And the important part of it, so I wound up being the bad cop, which I'm not here. And that's what you got to emphasize on it. So he's being the good cop. And the good cop's the person that's trying to settle the tension and actually be the activist for the seller. Like, I want you to get 140. Unfortunately, I've already talked to Rick like 100, but I tell you what, I can go out on a limb. Can you meet me in the middle? And I know before you guys say, well, meeting in the middle, isn't that giving up? When you set such a low offer, meeting in the middle is absolutely crushing it and winning it because you change the trajectory of the conversation. You see, most wholesalers try to offer close to their MAO, their maximum allowable offer, and you chase the seller up. The way we do this is we make the sellers come to us. So splitting the difference when you're doing a low ball method like go for no is a huge win. Make sure when you're the good cop that you're the advocate for the seller. Hey, I know you're smart. I get it. You want to get it. I got to get it. But like, we got to find somewhere where we can make it work and create a win-win situation. So you're the mediator. You're not the final negotiator. And it's like, you're like, yep, you're right. And you can switch sides anytime you want if it goes awry or anything like that. So when they light you up right away, I go, yeah, I know, but that's my partner. And that's why I'm here, because I believe in you. I think we can find a way to make this work. And then you just work on that final negotiation. So you're really down to that last small percentage. But by doing the go for no, you knock the negotiations time down by like 70, 80%. Some of you guys drag this on for weeks. And if you have no experience in wholesaling, the go for no, the lowball method will save you a ton of time, will reduce the stress of the transaction from the seller and yourself. And here's the cool part is you get it under contract for the right price so you can sell it to the first, second, or third cash buyer instead of unwinding it, finding out you paid too much because you just wanted to get a yes. Go for no works. Lowball offers are powerful.
But getting really good at this good cop, bad cop method is not really a script. I hate to say it, you're going to have to practice this. And really the good cop, bad cop method here, your seller's not going to be upset with you doing this. You can do this with virtual wholesaling real estate, regular wholesaling real estate. This is one where you can give it and the seller's not too upset with that lowball offer. And I'm telling you, you just got to get a price that's going to be a no. So always the talk is, how much should I offer for a good cop, bad cop? Well, the truth is you should go after a no. You want to get a no on the initial offer. And this is really where we kind of invented this new method called LAO. So most wholesalers, they go after something called MAO, which is your max allowable offer. And I hate this a lot, but some of you wholesalers like to focus really hard on just the MAO. Like that's all you focus on and just a little bit below that, right? No. What you're going to do is LAO, which is your least allowable offer, right? What's the least you think the seller's going to take? LAO, if you really want to calculate it, it should be around 70, 65% of your MAO. And that should be your initial offer most likely, right? And this is just how you make a ton of money wholesaling houses.
Remember, it's not so important what you offer them, it's where you wind up. And so if I have a scale like this and I make an offer all the way to the right of the scale, you just got nowhere to go. Like, what are you going to do? So when you have a scale like this and you're offering on this side, you can actually get your seller to see if they're motivated enough to kind of meet you somewhere. And remember, by setting that extreme lowball offer, meeting in the middle is actually a huge win for you. Think about it. If you ever made an offer and somebody said yes, 9 times out of 10 when they said a yes, you left too much money on the table and most likely you overpaid for the deal. By using the go for no method, the low ball offer, you protect yourself against both these scenarios. A lot of you don't have the experience and you will get it as you go along your wholesaling journey, the more people you talk to. But in the beginning, if you get 10 contacts into it and somebody wants to sell you the house, you're better off doing the go for no method because you'll get the best price possible because you probably don't even have cash buyers yet. And the only way you're going to attract cash buyers is with a great wholesale deal.
Exactly. So if you're ready to start lowballing sellers and actually get some great wholesaling deals, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course. In that free course, we show you exactly live conversations that we both have with motivated sellers that get us closed wholesaling deals. Also, we teach you the good cop, bad cop method in a little more detail, how to get over objections, everything like that. So go to our free course, freewholesaling.com. We'll see you soon. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. And this is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.